Okay, attorney Nate Amendola, criminal defense lawyer, Massachusetts, owner of Nate Amendola Defense. Back to criminal law in plain English. The question today is, what happens when I get arrested? The answer is nothing good. But let's talk about this. So we know what an arrest is because we've talked a lot about this. An arrest is a curtailment of your freedom so that you are not free to move. Of course, it happens when you've got some cuffs on your hands and you're in the back of a police car. But as you can imagine, there's a lot of other situations whereby you are in a de facto arrest, even if you're not in cuffs, because you can't move. But in any event, so one of those situations where you're in cuffs and you're brought back to the police station, okay? You're going to be booked and processed. You got to answer some background questions, your name, address, your phone number, things like that. I'm talking fast because we've already gone through this, but in case you haven't seen that video, you really should answer these questions. You kind of have to. It's just a problem if you don't. You look like a total asshole, and the courts don't like that. So you want to, even though you're totally pissed off and you don't want to do anything and just want to be mean, I get that. You should do your best to keep calm, cool, and collected. And you get booked, processed, bail is going to be set. Hopefully a loved one or somebody you know is going to come bail you out. What's going to happen next is you're going to be charged with a crime. Okay, you've been charged with a crime, sort of. You've been arrested based on probable cause. What happens is the police officer, law enforcement goes back to their desk and they write a police report. I'm Officer Johnson, I was on routine patrol, or I was effectuating an arrest warrant. Here's what happened, blah, 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 blah. They type this up. They attach this police report to an application for criminal complaint. They've got to do this. And that application is an application to get booked into the criminal justice system, right? It's an application to charge you with a crime. Now, if you've been arrested, clearly the police think that there's been probable cause, so the reviewing magistrate, I think 9.875 times out of 10 is going to agree with the police that there's been probable cause. My point is, a magistrate's going to get this application for criminal complaint the next morning, generally, if you've got to go to court. That's why it will take an hour or two. You should be there at 8:30, but you may not get processed till 10:30 or 11. Heard by the court, until later morning. And so the reviewing magistrate is going to look at this complaint. They're going to issue it, right? And then you're going to get arraigned, okay? Most often. There are some very specific situations and unique. If you're lucky, you've retained a lawyer before an arraignment, and the lawyer has got his or her hands on the police report and can somehow talk the prosecutor out of an arraignment. This has happened to us before for sure, and we always try to do this if we can. But you're 9.875 times going to be arraigned, which is when you're going to appear in front of the judge. The district attorney is going to ask for bail or ask for a bail personal recognizance, which is your own promise to appear. Court's going to say, all right, Mr. Johnson, you've been arrested for whatever it is. You're being arraigned for OUI, you're being arraigned for domestic violence, whatever the case may be. The prosecutor has asked for a bail warning, so here's a bail warning. I've got to tell you, if you're arrested while you're out, you can be held for 90 days if the prosecutor brings a motion to revoke your bail. So don't do that. Talk to your lawyer. Your next date for a pretrial conference is May 18th, right? So you've been arrested. Now you've been arraigned, okay? And now your case is going to proceed. And we've got lots of videos on what's going to happen next, but you're in the system. So what happens after you've been arrested? Nothing good. Yeah. But the time to fight your arrest is not when you're being arrested. That's just not going to help you. You can get resisting arrest. You get a little handsy, you can get ABPO. That's assault and battery on the police officer following an arrest. You just don't want that. All right, this is going to take tremendous self-discipline, but as always, you want to remain silent and cool, calm, and collected. So in a couple minutes, that's what happens after you get arrested.